So, hello students. In this question, we have to find total charge contained within a cube as shown in this figure, in which electric field is given by this expression, where epsilon naught is permittivity of free space. So, electric field is given and we have to find charge enclosed. So, in this case, we will use integral form of the Gauss law, and that is epsilon naught closed E dot d. Now using divergence theorem, we can convert closed surface integral into volume integral. So we can write this as divergence of E d tau. So this is the volume integral. Now divergence of E can be calculated as, in Cartesian coordinate, we can easily find del Ex del x plus del Ey del y plus del z Ez. Now Ex component is given by k into 4x square plus y component is 3 into y and z component is 0. So this will give you 8kx, and in y component also you have to take k constant, that is common. So that will be given by 3k. So that is divergence of E. So now we can write Q enclosed as epsilon naught. This is common value. So K is also constant. Then we have a triple integral, and divergence can be written as 8x plus 3, and this will be dx dy dz, and limit of x is 0 to 1. You can see this 0 to 1, y is also 0 to 1 and z is also 0 to 1. So y is 0 to 1 and z is 0 to 1. Now we have to calculate this integral. So this is k times epsilon naught. If we integrate with respect to z, limit will be 0 to 1. You will get z only. And let's integrate with respect to x. So that will give you 8x square by 2 plus 3x, and limit of x will be 0 to 1 dy. So that will give you k epsilon naught into 1 integral y 0 to 1, and this will be 4 plus 3 minus 0 dy. So if we integrate this, that will give you k epsilon naught into 7y, limit of y will be 0 to 1. So this will give you Q enclosed is 7k epsilon naught. That is the total charge contained within this cube. So option A is correct. In this question, it is given that 4 charges are placed very close to each other as shown in the figure. The separation between two charges on the y-axis is A, and the separation between two charges on the x-axis is also A. we have to see the leading order non-vanishing form of electrostatic potential at a point P at a distance small r from the origin, and this r is far greater than A. So let us assume this is first charge, this is second charge, and this is third charge, and this is fourth charge. So in this case we will use multi-pole expansion. So according to multi-pole expansion, so we will use multi-pole expansion method, and we will find Q mono. Q mono is, we call it as monopole moment, that is total charge of the configuration. So we have 4 charge plus Q, second charge is plus Q, third charge is minus Q, and fourth charge is minus Q. So that is 0. Then we have to find, since monopole moment is 0, so we have to check for dipole moment P, and that is given by summation over Qi Ri dash. In general, this is the relation. Here I is 1 to 4. So where Ri dash is the position vector of source charge at ith location. So if we write P, let us consider first charge, that is Q plus Q, and its position vector is A by 2 y cap. Second charge is also plus Q, and its position vector is minus A by 2 x cap. Third is minus Q, and its position vector is minus A by 2 y cap. And fourth charge is minus Q, and its position vector is A by 2 x cap. And if we solve this, you will see this QA is common. X cap component will be negative, so that will be minus x cap plus y cap. Or this dipole moment is QA minus x cap plus y cap. This is the dipole moment, and this dipole moment is non-zero. Now we know that potential due to dipole is given by V dipole is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P dot r cap by r square. So this will be given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Then you have QA, that will be minus x cap plus y cap by r square dot r cap. So you can see this direction is x cap, this direction is y cap, and this direction is r cap. So we can write this as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught QA by r square, and you will get minus x cap dot r cap plus y dot r cap. So this we can write 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught QA by r square. This is minus cos 60 degree, and this y dot r cap is plus sin 60 degree. So V dipole is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught QA by R square minus 1 by 2 plus under root 3 by 2, and that is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. This is QA by twice R square. We can write this as under root 3 minus 1. So you can see option A is correct because that is same value 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught QA by 2 R square root 3 minus 1. So option A is correct. In this question, it is given that the electric field of an EM wave has the form E naught cos omega t k z I cap. At t is equal to 0, a test particle of charge q is at z is equal to 0 and has a velocity v is 0.5 c k cap, where c is the speed of light. Then we have to find what will be instantaneous force on the particle. So from the given expression of E, you can see this E is given as E naught cos omega t minus kz I cap. So you can see it is polarized in I cap. So propagation vector k is given as kz cap. Wave is propagating in a positive z direction. So we can easily write corresponding B. So B is given by amplitude is 1 by c times t amplitude of the electric field. So that will be cos omega t minus kz. Now this will be polarized in j cap because E cross you can easily verify that E cross B, this must be in the direction of energy flow. So we know E and B. Now the total force on charge Q is given by, this is QE plus Q V cross B. Now that is given by Q E naught cos omega t minus kz I cap plus Q V is 0.5 c k cap cross B is given by E naught by c cos omega t minus kz j cap. So this will give you force Q as, this will be same value Q E naught cos omega t minus kz I cap. Now 0.5 is half and k cap cross j cap is minus I cap. So this will be given by minus Q E naught by 2, and this c will cancel out. Just see, this c will cancel out, cos omega t minus kz I cap. So finally this value will be 1 minus 1 by 2. So you will get Q E naught by 2 cos omega t minus kz I cap. So the instantaneous force is given by Q E naught by 2 I cap. So option A is correct. In this question, we have to find the expression for the magnetic field that induces the electric field E. So this form of E is given. E is k yz I cap plus 3z j cap plus 4y k cap cos omega t. So we can use third Maxwell's equation, that is del cross E is minus del B by del T. So let's use this equation to get the magnetic field. So let us first find curl of E. So if we have to find curl of E, let's take this common term is k cos omega t, and then we will write, we have I cap component, then we have j cap component and k cap component. This is del x, del y and del z, and ex component is, this is yz, then you have 3z, and then you have 4y. So if we expand this, k cos omega t, so this I cap component is given by del y 4y minus del z 3z minus j cap. So minus j cap component is, this is del x 4y, then minus del z yz plus k cap. So this k cap component is del x 3z minus del y yz. So this will give you curl of E is, this is k cos omega t I cap, this will be 4 minus 3 minus j cap, this will be 0 minus y, and then plus k cap, this will be 0 minus z, or this can be written as k cos omega t, and this will be I cap plus yj cap minus zk cap, and we can equate this to minus del p by del t. So if we have to write b, so we have to further integrate this. B is given by minus k, and integral of cos omega t is sine omega t by omega. This is I cap plus yj cap minus z k cap. So option A is correct. In this question, it is given that a small conducting square loop of side L is placed inside a concentric large conducting square loop of side capital L, where capital L is far greater than small l. We have to find the value of mutual inductance of the system, and that is expressed as n mu naught L square by pi L. So in this case, what will be value of n? So it's a numerical answer type question. We have to find the value of n. So let us consider a large square loop. This is a large square loop, and this is the center. This side is capital L, and at the center a small square loop is placed, whose side is small l. Let us assume this is loop 1 and this is loop 2, and assume current I is flowing in loop 2, and then we have to first find magnetic field at the center of the square loop. So we know that, let's assume this is segment 1, consider this as a segment 1. So due to this segment, if we have to write magnetic field at the center, so this distance will be L by 2, and this will be also L by 2 and L by 2, and we have to see this angle. So this will be minus 45 degree, and this angle will be plus 45 degree. So magnetic field due to this segment is B1, that is given by mu naught I by 4 pi into distance from the wire. So that is L by 2, and that is sine of 45 degree minus of sine minus of 45 degree. So this will give you value of B1. So B1 is, you can see this is mu naught I by 2 pi L, and 2 sine 45 will give you 2 by root 2. So finally, value of B1 is, this direction will be upward. So magnitude is, you can see this will be mu naught I by root 2 pi into L, and that direction will be upward. So we know magnetic field. So if then resultant magnetic field will be 4 times of B1, because each segment has magnetic field B1. So that is 4B1. If you multiply with 4, that is 4 mu naught I by under root 2 pi into L. This is the magnetic field. Now flux through loop 1. What will be flux through loop 1? And that flux is phi 1, that is B into small l square, and that is given by M into I. I is the current in loop 2 and M is the proportionality constant, that is mutual inductance. So we can write this as B is 4 mu naught I by root 2 pi L into small l square, and that will be given by M into I. So this will give you, M is mu naught L square by pi L, and this value is 4 by root 2. So if we calculate 4 by root 2, this value will be 2.828 mu naught L square by pi. So this will give you N is 2.828 and that is 2.83. At 2 decimal places, that is 2.83. So this value will be 2.83. In this question, it is given that a current I is uniformly distributed across a long straight non-magnetic wire. So mu r is 1 of a circular cross section with radius a. Now if we have 2 points P and Q that are distance at a by 3 and 9a respectively from the axis of the wire, we have to find the ratio of magnetic field at point P and Q. So we will first see what will be magnetic field inside. Magnetic field inside a uniformly distributed current, and that is given by mu naught I R by 2 pi a square, where this R lies inside. So R is less than a. And magnetic field outside the wire, B outside, this is given by mu naught I by 2 pi R, where this R is for outside point. Now we have to see at point P and Q. So P is inside. So that is at R is equal to a by 3. So you will get mu naught I by 2 pi a square. This is a by 3. R is a by 3. So this point is inside. And magnetic field at point Q is given by mu naught I by 2 pi. R is 9. This point is outside. So R is 9. So what will be ratio BP by PQ? So if we divide, that is mu naught I by 2 pi a square a by 3. If you divide it, you will get this will be 2 pi 9a divided by mu naught I. So this mu naught I will cancel out, this 2 pi will cancel out, and this a square will cancel out. So this ratio will be 9 by 3, or simply this value is 3. So this ratio of magnetic field at point P and Q is 3. This ratio is 3. Hello students, in this question it is given that a parallel plate capacitor having plate area 50 centimeters square and the separation of 0.1 millimeter is completely filled with dielectric having dielectric constant K is 10. The capacitor is connected to 10 kilo ohm resistance and an alternating voltage 10 sine 100 pi t as shown in this figure is applied. The switch S is initially open and it is closed at t is equal to 0. So this switch is closed at t is equal to 0. Now find the displacement current, ratio of the displacement current and current in the resistance at time t is 2 by pi. So at this time we have to find the ratio. So let us first see what will be displacement current density. So displacement current density. Current density is current per unit area. So that JD is given by epsilon del E by del T. Now we can write JD as epsilon 0, epsilon R, and electric field is given by V by D, where V is the applied voltage. So we can write this as epsilon 0, epsilon R by D, and del V by del T. V is given, V is this value. So that will be given by 10 into 100 pi cos 100 pi t. Let's calculate this value at this time when t is 2 by pi. So JT is given by epsilon 0 is 8.86 10 to power minus 12. Epsilon R, this K is given, that is 10. D is 0.1 mm, so that is 0.1 10 to power minus 3 into this 10 into 100, that is will give you 1000 pi. 1000 into pi is 3.14 into cos 100 pi, and t is 2 by pi. So let us calculate displacement current density JD. So let us write 8.86 multiply with 3.14, and then you have 10 to power minus 12 into 10,000 divided by 0.1 10 to power minus 3. If we arrange this, you will get 10 to power minus 4 into this pi will cancel out. So cos 200, if you calculate in radian, this value will be 0.487. So you can use calculator to check this value, and that will be 13.55 into 10 to power minus 4 ampere per meter square. So this is displacement current density. Now current, that is displacement current, ID is JD, you have to multiply with this plate area. So that will be 13.55 10 to power minus 4. Now we have to write area in meter square. So that will be 50 into 10 to power minus 4. So if we calculate this value will be given by 67.74 10 to power minus 7 amperes. This is the value of ID, displacement current. Now we have to calculate current through R. So let's see current through R. And this current is given by IR. So that will be given by V by capital R, resistance, and V is 10 sine 100 pi t, and this is 10 kilo ohm. So this will be 10 into 10 to power 3 ohms. We will get this much volt. Now we have to calculate this at t is equal to, again, this value, same value, when t is 2 by pi. So what will be this value? This is 10 to power minus 3 sine, if we put value of t 2 by pi, this will be 200 sine 200. So IR will be given by, this will be 10 to power minus 3. If we calculate in radian, this value will be 0.873. And that value will be given by 8.73 10 to power minus 4 amperes. So this is the value of current through R. So what will be ratio? ID by IR, this value. So we have to divide 67.74 10 to power minus 7 amperes, and that is divided by 8.73 10 to power minus 4 ampere. So this value is 0. Use calculator, 0077, and up to 3 decimal place we can write it as 0.008. So it's a numerical answer type question, and we have to substitute this value. So that will be, this ratio will be 0.008. In this question, it is given that an RC circuit connected to two DC power supplies as shown in this figure, with switch S is open. Initially this S is open and the capacitor is fully charged. S is then closed at t is equal to 0. Now we have to find the voltage across capacitor at t is equal to 2.4 millisecond, and we have to round it off as an up to 1 decimal place. So when S is open, initially this capacitor will be charged. In steady state, this voltage will be 20 volt. So just see, this is also 20 volt, this is also 20 volt. So this resistor will act as a short circuit. This will act as a short circuit. So this is the initial steady state. Now what will happen at t is equal to 0, this switch is closed. So capacitor voltage will vary. So now capacitor voltage is given by, when switch is closed, this capacitor voltage Vc is given by, we can write the formula in RC circuit, V1 minus exponential minus T by RC. Now see, what will be value of V? In this case, if we see the polarity of the voltage, you have minus plus this voltage and minus 10. So minus 20, minus plus and minus plus, 20 volt plus 10 volt. So Vc will be 30 volt. Here you have to write 30 volt. 1 minus exponential minus t is 2.4 millisecond. So we have to write 2.4 10 to power minus 3 second. R is 6 kilo ohm. So that is 6 into 10 to power 3. And C is 10 microfarad. So that is 10 into 10 to power minus 6. So this Vc is given by 31 minus exponential of, if we solve this value, that will be given by minus 0.04. You will get, of course, in voltage. So that is 31 minus 0.9607. You have to use the calculator. Without calculator, you cannot solve. So this will be, if you calculate this value, 1.176 volts. So this is the capacitor voltage. But 20 volt is already connected. So what will be net voltage? So we have to see the net voltage. So net voltage across the capacitor is given by, you have 20 volt minus 1.176 volts. So this value will be 18.824 volts. 18.824 volts. And if we write up to 1 decimal place, that in 18.8 volts. So it's a numerical answer type question. So we have to substitute this value up to 1 decimal place. So that will be 18.8 volts.